Alright lads, so yesterday morning we did actually get the news that the new resurrected characters have been released. It's these 6 characters right here. Unfortunately I only have one of them and that is Senna. But if you actually go into the news section right here, you can see it has been updated and they actually surprisingly announced the resurrections of movie 4 and 3. So we were all expecting it to happen sometime next month, probably this time next month, but surprisingly they have actually announced it and they are going to be doing it in 2-week periods. So does this mean the resurrection schedule has been fixed? I'm not entirely certain on it just yet. This could be a special occasion because obviously it is movie characters. They actually did resurrect 6 characters yesterday, which was rarely ever been seen before. They normally only do 3 or 4. So in 2 weeks time we are going to be getting movie 4 resurrected, and then 2 weeks after that we are going to get movie 3 resurrected. And today's video we are going to be talking about these characters right here and what I would like to see them get when they do get resurrected. So let's just jump straight into it. I'm excited to see what they get, and I do hope that when they do get resurrected in 2 weeks time and a month's time, they get similar treatment to what the first 2 rounds of movie characters have received, because they all received very good upgrades. So let's start off with Kisuke, right? So Kisuke is a NAD character that was never really shined upon. Like, no one really cared about this character when he came out. Like, I didn't. So he does have the recover at 25% stamina link, which is pretty okay. Like, it's not really that good nowadays, but if you do pick up a good secondary soul trait, that could actually be quite useful, especially on characters like Ruruka, for example, if you are farming IZ. So what I would like for him to get as a soul trait is obviously a normal attack damage, if not recharge, if not DR. That's what I would like to see in a perfect scenario. He's most likely going to pick up normal attack damage, and as we can see here, he is a normal attack damage based character with a 50% bruiser and a 40% berserker, 5-second debilitator, devastation plus 30, and sprinter plus 1. So what he's guaranteed to receive is a 10% increase on his devastation. That's guaranteed to happen because every character does get 40%. And what we would like to happen, and because we have seen it with Ganryu, he needs to pick up Flurry. If we're being honest, he needs to pick up Flurry. That's the only thing they can do to save normal attack damage characters like this. 50% bruiser just doesn't cut it anymore, right? Obviously, him getting Flurry would come at the downside of him losing that 50% bruiser, but Flurry is significantly better than 50% bruiser. So if we're being honest, the character needs to pick up no attack damage as his soul trait, and he needs to get rid of that bruiser to pick up Flurry. And that's what I would hope Caleb do with this character. And I don't think they're going to be giving out Flurry for every future resurrection character, especially NAD based ones, but if we're being honest, that's what he needs to get. And now that they have shown that characters like Ganryu can pick up Flurry, characters like this Kisuke has to pick it up just to be useful. So whether he gets Flurry or not is going to be the deciding factor if he's actually going to be playable. For Kisuke fans, I'm sure you're all hoping he picks up Flurry, because once he does, he will be a usable character. If he doesn't, unless you have him max transcended, you're not really going to be using this character. So the most part for people like me that isn't really going to use him regardless if he picks up Flurry, I'm just hoping he picks up a good secondary soul trait, and 25% stamina recovery and 16% normal attack damage would actually be pretty useful, and I definitely would see myself using that. After that, we have Homura and Shizuku. Again, another NAD character that needs to pick up Flurry, and I'm really hoping they do, man. Like, I don't use too many switch characters. To my understanding, there are only, 3 characters in the game that can switch, one of them being Centauro and Kione, who obviously I don't think anyone really likes using because they're not that good. But these characters, they are kind of cool in a sense where, if you come down to here, they are a NAD-based character that actually has long reach, which is actually pretty nice. But they switch between being a NAD-based character and a range character. So that would be very cool if we can get a character like that to pick up Flurry. Again, similar to a situation with Kisuke, this character needs to pick up Flurry to be usable. Sure, they could get a higher bruiser, it could go up to 60%, overall taking it to 80%, but it's just not going to cut it in today's meta, right? They need to pick up Flurry, and unfortunately, with what they've shown as well with the Yin and Yang, they aren't going to be giving every character Flurry, and this might be a character that does get shafted on that, so I'm really hoping they do go the route of giving them Flurry. If not, they're just not going to be usable. But I will be picking them up if they do get a character pack, because I actually do want to play as them. They're kind of cool. I like Homura, Shizuku, whichever the go. She looks quite cute. I wouldn't mind playing as her. So actually, I'm going to be picking them up if they do receive a character pack. But in terms of skills, like, yeah, they're pretty much set for everything else. The debilitator is there, devastation, long reach. The only thing that is going to change is the bruiser. Is it going to get up to 50%, or they're not going to do anything, or they're going to remove that for Flurry? Hopefully they're going to remove it for Flurry. In terms of the soul trait, What I can see them picking up is strong attack recharge. If not, they might just pick up weakening resistance or something like that, which wouldn't be a bad thing for GQ. So whatever they get, as long as it's not lacerate or slow resistance, then I'd say it's actually pretty good. If it's damage taken, if it's recharge, if it's stamina recovery, all of them are a fat dub. I'm kind of hoping they pick up recharge because we do need more normal attack damage and recharge soul traits, because for a lot of NAD characters out there that do actually have a boost, being able to equip a normal attack damage plus recharge soul trait would be very, very good for them, especially a character like this, which they are hot. If they pick up recharge, imagine this link on Tokinada, imagine this link on Masaki. They're going to absolutely love that because they need they don't need the recharge, but being able to use your NAD and having them as much NAD as possible, at the same time getting some extra recharge just to keep spamming that SA2 with the boost, would be very, very good. So I'm actually really hoping this character does pick up recharge, and that would actually be probably best case scenario for a Link, right? Even for them personally, like, they might actually want to use recharge, but outside of that, as a playable character, they definitely need to pick up Flurry. Next up, we have Dark Rukia, and I'm sure this is a character a lot of people are waiting to see what kind of resurrection she's going to get. Unfortunately, with the way she came out, she didn't have the best strong attacks, but you know what can solve that? And that is Havoc. So if she picks up Havoc, that's probably the only way to save her in terms of making her a lot better. Now, what she might do is pick up Berserker. Maybe she can do that. She does have 6 skills. I believe she can get 1 more skill. She might... I don't know. It really depends how Caleb want to do that. They could just give her weak in defense. They could just give her weak in attack. I feel like they're definitely going to give her 1 more skill. Whether that's Berserker comes down to Caleb. Probably best case scenario is that she does pick up strong attack damage as the second soul trait, which would actually be very good for our technique characters. And at the same time, if she does pick up Havoc, which we have seen in the past, some characters actually have received, that would make her a pretty solid character, even in today's meta, because the problem with her attacks is that she just doesn't have the best range, right? So Havoc would definitely fix that. It would turn her third strong attack into a full screen, and I think that would be the best case scenario. So again, it really comes down to what Caleb are going to do with this character. What I think might happen is that she's going to pick up maybe some other kind of weird second soul trait, but at the same time, all the past movie characters that have been resurrected, the first 6, have all received very good soul traits. So I don't even think Caleb are going to cuck this character. I actually think they're going to probably go down the route, give her strong attack damage. And again, what she does need is Havoc. What they might do is just give her Berserker. So that 20% strong attack damage increase from the Berserker, plus the 60% that she might get from her second soul trait. Sure, that 36% damage increase would make her a tad bit better, but the thing this character lacks is range. So she has the opportunity to be very good here if Caleb do want to give her Havoc. And the thing is that it is kind of possible, because the last batch that we did get, the round 1-2 of movie characters, most of them already had Havoc. So even though we saw that Caleb were giving them very good skills, none of them picked up Havoc because they already had it. So a character like this really does deserve Havoc if she wants to be a somewhat top tier character. And if she does pick it up, she would actually be very good. You know, imagine this, right? Havoc plus strong attack damage plus the recharge should be usable. I'd say so. Personally, I'd say so. So yeah, all she has to do is pick up Havoc and strong attack damage as a second soul trait. If she picks up one of those two, she'll definitely be a bit better, but Havoc is the thing that she really needs to pick up to save this character. Otherwise, she's just going to be hitting a tad bit harder. She'll be a tad bit better, but not enough for non-Rukia fans to use this character over anyone else. Next up, we have Movie 4 Shuren, who is going to receive their resurrection next week, or in 2 weeks' time, actually. So Shuren, unfortunately, right off the get-go, is going to get shafted. Until we've seen from Caleb that characters are going to start receiving Flurry or Frenzy when they have Bombardment, for the most part, we can assume they're just going to get shafted, right? So we saw with Kusaka, the original one, didn't pick up Flurry, didn't pick up Frenzy, therefore, he got shafted because he has Bombardment. So until Caleb showed that they're going to start giving characters Frenzy or Flurry when they already have Bombardment, for the most part, we're going to assume they're going to get shafted, right? So for Shuren, the best thing we can hope for a character like this is to pick up a good secondary soul trait. Probably normal attack damage is the best thing he can get. And that's really it. He could pick up some kind of secondary resistance. It's not going to be that useful, so the best thing we can hope for Shuren is no attack damage on the soul trait. As for his skills, there isn't really anything he can pick up. His Bruiser and Berserker might increase by a tad bit, but I'm not really holding out hope for this character. For the most part, the only thing you can really care about here is going to be his soul trait. What's that going to be? We're yet to find out, but I think for the most part, we can hope that it is going to be no attack damage. After that, we have Kokoto, who is one of the better movie characters. I think a lot of people would say he's the best movie character. I'd say obviously Ichigo movie 1 is now better because he has received his resurrection, but Kokoto has a chance to shine too. So he does have a 12% recharge, definitely hoping he picks up strong attack damage. For the speed attribute, we don't have too many of those links that are speed links at least, that are strong attack damage plus recharge. I believe the only one that we do have is the second Ani Ichigo, so I'm really hoping he's going to be the second speed link to pick up strong attack recharge plus strong attack damage. So that's what we're hoping for there. In terms of his skills, I mean, if he's lucky, he could pick up Havoc. I don't think he is going to get that. If he does, though, this character is going to be very good. Like, his strong attacks aren't bad whatsoever. Like, he has a lunge forward. He has an 800 SA2, which for the time this character came out is actually very good. And still, to this day, is still very, like, the best strong attack 2 that you can get, minus Havoc. And then SA3 is a 1000 into a 675. So if he gets lucky, he's going to pick up Havoc. And if he gets that, he's literally going to be one of the best speed characters in the game. That's how simple Havoc is, right? If he gets it, he's one of the best speed characters in the game. If not, he's probably still going to just be like maybe top 10, right? That's basically how it is. What is realistic though, and what we can hope for, is that if he does pick up 20% Berserker plus the strong attack damage soul trait as a secondary soul trait, will make him hit harder and it will make him better, but it isn't going to push him to be one of the best characters in the game, right? He definitely needs Havoc, but I'm not counting on that. I'm just going to think he's going to pick up Berserker, and that's enough really. It'll make him better, and if you are a Kokoto fan and you do want to use him, the resurrection will definitely make him more usable, but it won't be enough to make him a character that you're going to use over someone like, you know, 5th anniversary Byakuya. And even with Havoc, you probably still opt in to use Byakuya, but at the same time, if he does get Havoc, if someone chooses to use Kokoto over Byakuya, I'm not really going to hate on it, right? It's just preference at that point. But yeah, this character has a chance to be really, really good because he's already really, really good. So really hoping on Kokoto's resurrection there. And then the last character to talk about, movie for Ichigo. This character was not liked by the community. A lot of people like despised the fact that how they treated this character. He's a non-attack character, and as you can see right here, he does only have 5 skills. Technically 6 if you want to count the extra 5%, but he has the chance to be really good here. What he can pick up, again, he is a Nad-based character without bombardment, so he does have the opportunity here to pick up Flurry. And if he does, beautiful. He's going to be a very good character. Again, he will be a Nad character without guard break, but it's enough to be usable, especially in GQ. And if I had him, I'd definitely be using him there for the Hollow Week of GQ, because he might be usable, right? Because he does have the weakening, he does have the SA2, which is a vortex, so he will actually be pretty good. And I believe he doesn't have long reach. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up long reach. That would actually be very good for the character, because right now he does have a 375. So yeah, like similar to the other Nad characters in his attribute and his other category in general, he needs to pick up Flurry if he wants to be usable. Otherwise, he's just going to be a Link. And he has the opportunity to be a very good Link because he is a non-attack damage plus 25 soul trait. So, best case scenario, I want to say non-attack damage and DR would be the best case scenario, but honestly, I think we have enough of those. Like, personally to me, I'm not really too interested in getting a non-attack damage plus DR. It's not really that big in my opinion. What I do want to see, and to a lot of people this might be a shaft, I want him to pick up some kind of status omen. Is that going to happen? I don't know, because those status omen soul traits have been very, very useful for Guild Quest. The hard difficulty of GQ loves to have those soul traits. So non-attack damage plus maybe 55% paralysis duration would actually be very, very good for a character like this, or for your future power characters that you're using in those GQ weeks where you need paralysis resistance. So I personally want him to pick something up like that, but because he's a movie character, I do think he's going to get quote-unquote better treatment, so I think he's probably going to pick up no-attack damage. If he picks up recharge, again, that would also be very good. It would also go in line with the character because he actually does have, you know, strong attacks that kind of want to recharge quick enough. He has the vortex, so him picking up recharge wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. And again, going back to your other power characters that are Nad based with a boost, let's say for example Desert Yoruichi, using him as a Link if he does have recharge is going to be one of the best links for her. So recharge or a status omen is what I'm kind of hoping for here. DR would also be very good. I think for most people that would be best case scenario, but it really comes down to what they want to do with the Link. But as a playable character, again, I'm going to say this almost every time we have a Nad based character that's set to get resurrected, they need to pick up Flurry. That's the last saving hope for them. If they don't, then they're not going to be usable. Because Ganryu, is usable now. Like, unironically, he is usable. He isn't as good as the, future NAD characters that are coming out or the current NAD characters, but he's up there now thanks to that one skill. So I'm really hoping he gets Flurry. And that being said, lads, that was the video, just trying to go over some predictions of what I want to see when it comes to these characters getting resurrected. Again, Movie 4 is set to get resurrected in 2 weeks' time, and then 2 weeks after that, so essentially a month from now, we are going to get these Movie 3 characters. So either way, it's exciting news. The resurrection schedule for the most part is back in track, but it is yet to be seen if it is going to continue on after these characters do get resurrected, because again, they are movie characters, they are kind of getting special treatment. Either way, I'm going to enjoy it. If these characters do get character packs, this is going to be absolutely huge for people like me that do spend money on the game but don't have these characters, because I did calculate it, right? So I currently am missing everyone. So I'm missing 11 of the 12 movie characters, right? And I only have Senna right now. So if these characters do get resurrected, for me, I'm going to spend around $280 buying those character packs, and I'm going to receive 4,000 orbs. So I'm really hoping they do get resurrected, because if they do, that is going to be beautiful. But that being said, lads, hopefully you guys did enjoy this short discussion of why I want to see these characters get resurrected. Let me know in the comments below what skills you want to see these characters get. For the most part, I think for SP characters, you want to see them get Berserker and or Havoc, and then for the NAD characters, at least in not insurance case because they have bombardment, you want to see them get Flurry, and they do now have the possibility to get that thanks to this one character here picking up Flurry. So the future for resurrection characters is bright for the most part. It is looking good. So that being said, hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.